Hi, hello, welcome to the Trailhead Budget Solutions YouTube channel. If you are ready to subscribe my channel, please do subscribe. Your one subscription is a lot to me. In this video, we are going to complete the challenge of dive into best practices, technologies and the developer tools in Omnistudio. High level design principles and skills. So in this minute, we can cover about the technical skills and the knowledge required to develop Omnistudio solutions. Omnistudio key characteristics is its low code approach to building digital interactions and the experiences. To design effective Omnistudio solutions, follow few general design principles and the best practices. Process mapping. This approach involves understanding the visualization of the flow of data and the process within our system. It helps us to identify inefficiencies and areas for improvement, ensuring that our integrations and the workflows are optimized. To learn about it, complete the process business. This we can cover in next our videos about the process mapping. So design thinking. This approach focuses on empathy, collaboration and iterative problem solving by putting the end user at the center of our design process, so we can create intuitive and effective solutions. Designer's mindset. So think from designer's perspective while building Omnistudio solutions. This approach involves logical and semantical ways to solve problem. It includes understanding coding principles even if we are not writing code directly. It helps us think through complex systems and their interactions. High level best practices for Omnistudio solution design. So the best practice and the guidance. So use standard Omnistudio components. Use standard components in the Omnistudio designs whenever possible. So define as much functionality as we can by using the OmniScript or the FlexCard designers. Customize standard Omnistudio components only when necessary. So if you need any functionality that standard Omnistudio component don't have, so we can extend or customize existing standard Omnistudio components. So this will help admins to maintain the designers efficiently when we are creating the code. So that is created in a generic and agnostic way. Keep it as minimal as possible. Use a hybrid Omnistudio design and minimal code approach to build new components. When it's not possible to use or customize standard components to meet the requirement, so build a new component. However, try to use a hybrid Omnistudio design which includes both standard and the custom components and with minimal code approach. So use a combination of standard and custom components as much as possible, so the app is easy to maintain and upgrade. So build a new Lightning Web component with a global and reusable logic. Structure the code to reuse in variety of use cases, not just one. Use consistent component naming conversation. So establish clear and consistent naming conversation for all Omnistudio components. Effective naming conventions for Omnistudio components are crucial for maintaining a well organized, understandable and maintainable Salesforce environment. So technical knowledge of Omnistudio developer. Omnistudio uses many standard technologies to build the next generation Salesforce apps. This includes several open source tools that are available outside Salesforce. So we should knowledge that Omnistudio JSON, JavaScript object notation is, or JSON is the underlying data format that defines an Omnistudio component like FlexCard. Data in a JSON is divided into nodes and sometimes subnodes also. SOQL. So SOQL is a query language we can use to retrieve data from Salesforce database. SOQL is similar to the select statement in the widely used structured query language, but is designed specifically for Salesforce data. Omnistudio data mappers use SOQL to query data from Salesforce database. SOQL provides syntax to support queries for multiple object types called relationship queries against standard objects and the custom object. CSS use cascading style sheet to style our flex cards to build a set of style with a component. Create a style sheet with the same name as the component in the components folder. So the style sheet is automatically applied to the component if we want to style a component within one or more style sheet. Configure the style sheet static property. HTML. So HTML is a standard markup language used to create and structure content on the web, and it provides the structure of Omnistudio components when they have published. DOM. The document object model is a programming interface for web pages. It includes all of the pieces of web page, that HTML, CSS and many more. Using the DOM, so we can work with the pages content, structure and the styling. So next one is Omnistudio developers tools. Omnistudio uses several Salesforce standard developer tools to create application and the processes for digital interactions. It also provides tools to migrate components between environment for testing and the deployment. Salesforce Lightning Web Components. Salesforce Lightning Web Components is the framework to build custom user interfaces, web and mobile apps, and a digital experience on the Salesforce. To develop Lightning Web Components, we need to create an HTML file and a JavaScript file and then CSS file. Omnistudio uses the power of Salesforce Lightning Web Components to create Lightning Flex cards and the OmniScript components. Omnistudio Lightning Web Components follows the same standard as Salesforce Lightning Web Components. That's fine. Salesforce Lightning Design System. The Salesforce Lightning Design System provides the resources to create user interfaces. New design system. So the new port design system is a CSS framework specifically developed for a Salesforce industries to provide a customized style guide for OmniScript components. With the new standard designers, so we can customize our OmniScript directly within OmniScript Designer, Canvas and preview it. Salesforce command line interface. The Salesforce command line interface or Salesforce CLI is a powerful command line interface that simplifies development and the build automation when working with the Salesforce org. So with it we can easily create environments for development and testing. So sync sources code between your args and the version controlling. So we can use Salesforce CLI to aggregate all the developer tools to and perform commands against our Salesforce args. Sync source code to and from scratch args. Create and manage args, import and export data, create and execute test, and then final one is create and install the packages. Visual Studio Code or VS Code is to do code editor for Salesforce developer. It's a free open source and available for Windows, Macs and all other OSs. So with this, so we completed this Omnistudio in a high level for each topic which required to essential. We required this JSON, data map parts and the VS Code. Let's go on. Complete the challenge of year. So what is the primary focus of design thinking in a Omnistudio? Data map parts, iterative problem solving, system integration and the code optimization. So the right option is iterative problem solving. The next question is, what's the primary purpose of Salesforce object query language and Omnistudio? To create new component, to manage Salesforce arc, to load data from the Salesforce database, to retrieve data from Salesforce. So the right option is D. Let's go and check the challenge. Yeah, so we have successfully completed the challenge. So we'll meet you with another video with another Trailhead badges. Until that, please do subscribe. Thanks for watching.